Hey team, welcome back to Starcom, the unknown sector. Last time about, we got in a refinery and dropped off the medical supplies. And we got enough doodads to make the bigger hull. So let me work this out. It's not pretty, but I ran out of titanium, being the big issue there. It's also going to be slow as shit, isn't it? Got some titanium work to do then. It's not terrible, but could be significantly better. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Where you going? Did I mess up? No. Just looks weird. It looks like one side is longer than the other because of the shading. Go to the emissary. Come on, faster. I'm right. Hey, okay. Fair enough. It's like, here, you're gonna take forever to get there. Let me just help you. This small colony has been abandoned for at least a century. Ensign Triton observes it was a slow economic collapse, possibly due to a decline of some local industry. As the team investigates the structure, they become aware that several entities are following them, concealed by the trees. Wow. Ensign Lee attempts to set a stun trap with food as bait, but as the team falls back, they discover their stalkers have anticipated the team's movements. Pelted by rocks, the team is forced to use stronger measures. They succeed in hitting one of the animals with a lethal shot. The rest flee into the trees. It is a furry, six-limbed, agile creature, looking something between a rhesus and a tabby cat. It has an exceptionally large brain cavity for its size. These dexterous creatures have the traits of a domesticated animal, possibly bred for a companionship. They have evolved remarkably quickly. I would not be surprised if they develop language and tool use within the next 1,000 years. Ensign Glee's got bonked by a rock. Can sustain a little bit more blasties since I put that third reactor in. Could use a little bit more. Also should probably start researching into reactors, come to think of it. An incongruous chunk of titanium slag sits half buried on this planet composed of otherwise unremarkable ores. I've seen similar chunks in the past in post-combat debris fields when a hull is ablated by high-energy weapons. looks like we're hard traveling. Where are we going? What are we doing? Could go over to there. Could take that long dip down to there. Or we could go over to the Brogdeer thing. Ugh. Just all around, ugh. Either way, we got a little bit of a travel back. I say we blast up some stations, take some good, buy up all the titanium that I can, and continue to fit out the ship. Actually, that's a good point. I should use the planning mode to create the ship, and then figure out what I need. Genius. Well, we explored at least this bottom segment here. I wonder if, like, all of this map is, like, look at how far away this thing goes. Until we get to the very end of the damn map, which is 17, well, 1.8 million AU away. I was going to say kilometers. Which is funny, because, you know, we deal with miles over here in America. So I don't even use kilometers. But it's AU in the game in general, so just messing up left and right. Messing up both to the left and to the right. Guess I could have just taken the slip and slide home. I don't know why I came all the way down here. Your bros. Now, you know what? Alter the ship first, and then come back to that. Operations. During your last refit, I was discussing ways to improve the Atlas's tactical sensors with Ensign Galise. We got to talking about the crew's recent adventures. An incident with a supposed derelict station came up. Apparently, it had been configured with configured to measure tau-type neutrinos. Due to clearance restrictions, I couldn't reveal this information to them, but Starcom has been experimenting with using these particles to detect ships beyond the range of our normal sensors. Nothing practical has come out of it, to my knowledge, but maybe the operators of that station figured it out. There was nothing in the derelicts' ship log to shed light, but they were sending data somewhere. They did a good job of hiding the target, but I think I adjusted their signal strength to account for a nearby energy source. If you return to the location of the derelict, Ensign Kepler might be able to pinpoint the location with a local background scan. Good, you should be able to find its last location in your ship's logs. Yeah, and I put a little tag on it just in case. While I'm waiting for a solution to precipitate, I can provide one. Aren't planets and stars usually a bit more spread out? One thing I'm not good at parsing are other people's jokes. I'm assuming that was a humorous way of asking about the biroll wind projection, the holographic interface by which you perceive your ship's space is a projection of Taurulian space, which most humans have great difficulty visualizing. The biroll wind projection is the most common way of representing space-time curves for navigation. I have heard it derisively called the Mercator projection of space, which in some ways is accurate, It distorts some objects for facilitating navigation, but it is inaccurate since Mercator projection does nothing for temporal vectors. Admiral Desjardins is famous for saying, "I don't care if the sun looks smaller than Europa Station, as long as my ships don't fly through either." If you have nothing more urgent, I need to return to my work. Commodore Yu has informed me about the CIE device. I was attached to the team at Groombridge that developed the device, so naturally I am aware. The prospect of being permanently stranded in this universe is not too distressing for me personally. There is more to learn in a lifetime here than I can back home. I suspect most of the crew do not share my indifference, but since I am prohibited from informing them, I cannot conduct a proper survey. But I do have concerns about the plan, since we don't really understand why this universe remains tethered to our own. I am less than certain we know how to untether it. We found a debris field with containers from our home universe. Any idea why? I'm sure you recall from your promotion brief the CIE device Starcom equipped us with. To minimize the risk of early detonation, they had to send the raw materials ahead, which contains quite a bit of degraded xenium. We lost 3 cargo ships in this process. We managed to clean up the debris in this system, but some must have gotten caught in our neighbor's orbit. Alright. Okay, so sensors are done, trade's done, tractors are done, training's done. Yep, reactors it is. Then engines, and then structure, looks like. Anyway, let me work. Alright, we got a lot of work cut out for us here. So as we do, let's start blasting. So I need a bucket. Literal bucket of titanium. Like 600, no, not 600. Aluminum. I need like 600 aluminum. Not sure why I'm treating the wormhole like if I touch it, I'll go through it. I wonder if I just go ahead. They don't spawn that quickly, or I didn't jump far enough away. No, they don't spawn that quickly. Okay. Oh yeah, we gotta go check out that neutrino doodad. Suppose we could get that out of the way. Since we do know where that is. Alright, let's take a look. Yeah. Alright, so 810. 810 aluminum. I think we got a little bit before we get there, huh? Let's zero out everything that doesn't seem important. Not a shot. Neutronium seems important, so I'll keep that. Okay. Honestly, I should have just kept grinding stuff out. I don't really need to buy... I didn't really need to buy anything as of yet, just due to that aluminum dump it's going to require. $800 aluminum, man. 800 aluminum. Gonna be blasting ships for a while. And the fact that we will get stuff while blasting. Kind of like that. I'm gonna jump over, see what this neutrino doodad is about. This is the approximate location we investigated. We investigated the neutrino monitoring station. We're calibrating our sensors to determine the transit path. Got it. I've marked the location on the map. Where? The hell's it all the way over there? Damn. Alright, well, we're not going to that. Could go finish that up. That I run into. This is basically an autonomous drive system with a navigation system and a databank. Presumably it was used to deliver messages across large distances that were either not connected by warp gateways or couldn't wait for the next routed vessel. Components are not particularly high quality, which would explain why this one died. My guess is that it was more cost-effective to send many low-cost devices, knowing some would fail. Building one with near certainty of arrival would cost as much as a crewed ship. The dispatch's databanks, while partially corrupted by radiation from the unshielded drive, contained large amounts of bureaucratic reports, as well as some interesting academic correspondence and research data. Research on the question mark vault on question mark has been proceeding too cautiously. The motivation of question mark in constructing the Telonians is inscrutable, but a reasonable supposition is they are an interface, possibly for us, possibly for them. Technologically too complex for organics to reliably control. Constraint protocols may have assumed to have a similar purpose as a safety guard on a plasma torch. The dispatch's research data contains an exhaustive blah 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 on Telonian constraint protocols. And now it doesn't. And we continue our adventure. This planet was devastated by war in the past few hundred years. Judging from the ages of the ruins, it is not a single cataclysmic attack, but a long series that spanned several decades and gradually eroded the civilization's ability to recover. Looks like the ruins have been thoroughly picked over by scavengers, but there may be still something worthwhile. In an archival building, the team finds a large trove of census documents. They show the planet was predominantly inhabited by a three-eyed humanoid species, but was also home to other aliens. This record shows that this planet had several different species living on it, with different habitat modifications. Neat. Not so much that I got blown up. Enforcer. Okay. 13 more for a level up. Hey, what's up? What you enforcing? Am I gonna be enforcing some blasting? Why are you so fast? Hello? The hell are you? Some snake-ass sumbitch? We've watched your ships appear near the Sham and wondered when you would venture here. You come as servant, same, or suzerain to the Locan? Same? Perhaps similar in strength, but not in number, as we have observed. But if you do not challenge us, we will not challenge you. Tread softly here. I have a feeling I'm going to be treading real hard in a minute. What do you know about the devout? Sisyph. Impudent proselytizers. They have sent missionaries into our space. We have seen what happens where they gain a following. They do not last long. What happened in this region? We've seen signs of a terrible war. No fault of ours. As the Empire fell, the former vassals fought over what beliefs were true and who or what made the laws. When they were done, we offered order. Surely it was here as it was wherever you are from. The Empire built the great works, kept order and peace. From great heights it fell. Now her former vassals try to carve out little empires of their own. I get this feeling we're not going to be friends. Sneaking suspicion. This planet was devastated by war, blah blah blah. That's the same thing, isn't it? Building looks like a media broadcasting center was once filled with holographic crystals. Sadly, most are all shattered. A few fragments give a snapshot of daily life on the planet. Records that date from just prior to the destruction show the planet was experiencing a religious revival, and tensions were increasing between various sects. Sects, not sex. If you have increased tension during sex, I mean, it's probably some good sex. I don't know where I'm going with that. Got us a flinger, which has taken us a detour into the unknown. I got a gate here. You can go back to blasting and trying to get resources. Jump over to here. Blast up their base if they rebuilt it. Yup, sure enough. Resources, hi, how are you? Come to me. Alright, back down to here. Let's go. Yeah, we'll just keep cycling through them until we get enough materials to actually create a ship that can handle some... I mean, the ship can already handle most things, to be fair. It isn't like I'm struggling to blast these clowns. Now we make it out. Let's see our amounts. We haven't gotten the yttrium yet. We're working up to the titanium at least. Definitely don't want to buy the aluminum from them. Oh yeah, you know what? I should go up and try to buy... Did I get all the copper things from the Ermir bros? I honestly forget. Yeah, just chewing through stations and shit like it's no big deal. Well, they aren't dropping much. Alright, so what's our goal now? Probably jump back to there. Continue our explorations. We have heard the Atlas is now mentioned in the devout command, and not with fondness. We cannot afford their ire, but a purchaser has expressed a strong interest in a delivery that carries some risk. We suspect you, we respect you enough not to torture the shrubbery. I like it. Beat around the bush. We want you to collect for us a databank from a planet in devout space. We do not know or care what is on it, but our buyer is offering 100 silver for it. It's likely the devout would object to its transport. Sure, what the hell, why not? This planet was devastated by yada yada yada. Okay. This world is technologically fairly advanced. There are clear signs of space travel and other developments, roughly on par with Starcom, but the quality of life and infrastructure is surprisingly poor. The main spaceport where the lander sets down has only a few shuttles. Government representative greets them. On behalf of our people, we greet you humbly. We would offer tribute, but are forbidden by the Locan. Instead, I am willing to offer myself to be eaten by you as a demonstration of our supplication. Have Ensign tried to accept the offer? Am I gonna? Yeah. Yeah, no, we're not doing that. Fair. I had to click it. Turn down the offer and try to get an explanation. The representative is visibly relieved. He explains that as subjects of the Locan, they have a strict quota on resource production, which leaves almost nothing for development or offerings to other visitors. These quotas must be steep. They should be thriving, but are on the verge of collapse. After Ensign Triton presses for details, the representative explains that after the Empire fell, there was a long struggle between factions of this region that devastated most of the inhabited worlds. The surviving refugees gathered on this world to rebuild. When the Locan arrived decades later, they were still too weak to refuse the demands. Yeah, we can help you negotiate with them. The representative seems nervous. If they are amenable to lower quotas, that would help us immensely. But whatever you do, please do not anger the Locan on our behalf. They can be quite unforgiving. Oh, how adorable. I'm gonna go tread on some snakes. How adorable. Hey, snakes. Let's have a chit-chat about resources. Definitely keep it in line so I can come out blasting, because I'm sure this conversation will go extremely well. We have visited a planet you are demanding tribute from. Yes, we collect resources from them and provide security. We're not even going to bother, just demand they leave the colony alone. You're another instigator. We'll extract what we need from the colony and from your broken hull. I asked nicely. I asked nicely. Now I gotta tread on all the snakes. Dumb sons of bitches. Don't they realize I have the plot armor? Don't worry, we'll blow up enough of them that they'll eventually give up. I would hope. Because if they don't, I am so sorry I screwed y'all. This planet was devastated, yada yada. Hey, okay, good. One area that scavengers spent little time in were the refuse dumps. Aluminum is quite needed right now since I'm, you know, requiring like 800 of it for whatever the hell I'm trying to do. Is there a hidey HUD? There it is. I know there's a HUD button that lets me hide shit. This lander is only... the lander is only able to penetrate the lower mesosphere of the gas giant due to the extreme atmospheric conditions, where they encounter a pod of gaseous squid-like creatures. Ensign Triton attempts to make contact on a variety of EM frequencies, as well as with sounds, lights, and flight patterns. Despite the creature's shy interest, there's no success. Okay, what the hell? I was like, I was sitting there thinking, going, where the hell did the lander launch? Is that a whiskey mug over there, I assume? Yep. It's the only blue thing with a plus mark in it that I've seen. I'm assuming the plus mark is indicative of the size of the ship, since he is the biggest ship I've also seen. Seems to lend to itself a little bit. Wait. Close. Not that I, expected anything to happen, but figured we'd check it out rather than not. Alright, seems like we're blasting, boys. Just shredded his ship in half. That is a problem with having the HUD down. It doesn't actually continue to saves all the info and just spams it apparently. Single communication tower is the only artificial structure on the entire planet. Despite its age, it's still mostly intact. Ensign Galise notes the tower is very similar to the one the team encountered earlier near the dust refinery. One unusual point is that while there are normal redundancy circuits, the data in them doesn't match the primary. Place the data. The tower comes to life, changed by the remaining energy in its charged by the remaining energy in its batteries. A repeating transmission into the sky for a few minutes. After several repetitions, there's a shower of sparks as some key components give out. And the flinger turned. Okay. The flinger turned. How suspicious. Suspicious. Color me the curious. as I often am, of course. This ordinary-looking moon has an extraordinary amount of titanium collected from centuries of meteor deposits. In a more traveled location, it surely would have been cleared by now. An enormous cruiser has been sitting on the planet, or sitting on the surface of this temperate world for some time, judging by the trees and plants growing onto its hull. Surprisingly, it's not a derelict. The energy signature is normal, and a number of its systems are powered. When the team approaches, a group of scaly bipeds come towards their position. After a lengthy dialogue, Ensign Triton explains that this vessel was one of many groups of refugees to flee the post-Empire conflicts. They were lucky in having the engineering skills to redirect a nearby flinger temporarily and reach this remote system. They are now concerned that with the flinger directed here, it's only a matter of time before the Locan, Devout, or others seize their vessel. We would offer you the gold from our defunct engines and let you examine our ship's systems if you would promise to redirect the flinger back away from our refuge. Yeah, sure. The vessel is an impressive one. Despite being several hundred years old, its technology under the refugees' care will likely keep working for centuries more. We are most grateful. Once you have changed the flinger's coordinates, it will be most inconvenient to return here, so we will make good on our end of the bargain now and trust you to uphold yours. Please do not delay. It's only a matter of time before someone discovers us. Okie dokie. Well, I'm gonna go explore that real quick first, though. And if anybody does come up here, I'll just blast them back down. They will rue the day. Eight more to level, which we can always use more levely bits. This is gonna be a long haul, boys. Sit back and relax. An extremely long haul. Realize how slow I made this sumbitch. What are you? Another dispatch device. Reliance on the Telonians for information regarding their own constraints may well be the cause of the question mark catastrophe. Understanding whether these constructs we rely so heavily upon pose question mark worth substantial risk. Already several archaeologies have placed restrictions on their usage, which has consequently increased the reliance question mark. These goods still must be manufactured by question mark, simply pushed out of sight, creating the illusion of independence. Okay. Distress bacon detected. Okay. This is CXTA. Our reactor has experienced an inversion chain cascade. Batteries are sufficient only for life support. Can you assist? What do you need? The Cheerlight core is intact but unstable. I can replace the Cheerlight or try an alternative coil configuration with some of our copper. The first is easier and safer. Our engineer had to be quarantined at our last port of call with septuple conjunctivitis. That is a lot. That is a lot of conjunctivitis. Septuple conjunctivitis. All 7 eyes had pink eye. We lack the technical expertise to make repairs. Whatever, here, have a cheer light. Thank you. Reactor is within safe, active tolerance. We should be able to make it to our destination now. We do not have resources on board to compensate you, but we'll submit a positive report on your behavior. Good, give me a good spacey Yelp review. The hell was that music cue? Sir, I don't like it. This planet was recently home to some moderately complex life forms, comparable to Earth's Phanerozoic era. Now it's blanketed in a smothering ochre fog consisting of numerous organic molecules. What triggered the anomaly reading was a survey instrument labeled Station 9440. It's been too badly corroded by atmosphere to learn anything from it, but it does have some titanium. Another disappointingly small chunk of aluminum. Ensign Kepler wonders, to no one in particular, whether it might be worth raising the anomaly trigger threshold before dismissing the idea. The team lands on a small clearing on the edge of a vast forest that spans much of the planet's temperate region. Biosignatures are so strong and diverse, it's not immediately clear what tripped the anomaly detection algorithm, but the signal was quite strong. After several hours, Ensign Rhea pauses amid a grove of berry-covered bushes. They look identical to countless other bushes the team had passed by already. They seem quite excited by the discovery, but are uncharacteristically coy about its scientific significance. Okie dokie. A collection of greenish-blue berries found on a heavily forested planet. There are actually two different berries in the cluster. One has evolved the ability to very closely mimic the appearance, texture, scent of any nearby seed plant. This gives the ability to appeal to the fauna of any environment. Wonderful. I'd hoped that this was what was going on when I saw the sensor reading. Sort of brood parasitism. Oh good, we can at last research the berries that look like other berries tech. Well, let's see. So if you have a plant that mimics other plants, and its berries mimic other berries, You have just created... I mean, anything. Blueberries, strawberries, grapes. Coffee. Definitely coffee. Everybody loves coffee. That's a bean, though, right? I don't know what the limits of the plant are, since it is fictional. Alright, so we go back, flip the flinger, and I think that we head home. You know what, we can take another tour around, blast and shit real quick, and then we head home, because why not? Chair light. Blech. Doesn't take Ensign Glees too long to make the necessary fixes and switch the broadcast back to the original signal. Lorg. Flinger is reoriented towards the original destination. That's a relief. I'd have felt guilty if we inadvertently led some faction to, like the Locan, to their location. Yeah, that would be pretty dickish of us. Don't worry, we'll find more snakes to tread on soon enough, I'm sure. Okay, resources. How you doing? I'm trying to target the thing I'm not trying to target, damn it. Alright, one more tour around. Let's go. See what our stocks are at, since we lost some Churalite on that adventure. A vessel, presumably lost, has reported that your engineer repaired the reactor at their own expense. We press you to accept this gold. Perhaps news of this outcome will encourage others to do the same instead of the more customary looting. Trading? No, not yet. He's still shy about the trading. Alright, what are we at? 274 out of 810. 11 out of 30. Not even close. We'll eventually get there, I'm sure. Alright, let's blast these bastards and go home. There's a good chunk of yttrium. I wonder if they'll be back already. So I'll blast one more time. No. Okay. So that's a good place to take a pause. Y'all stay safe out there. Have a good one. And of course, we will be back for more shenanigans in a bit.